my name is Radek Grafiński. I'm working for Delinea. I'm native Polish, working from the area of Warsaw. I'm working as a partner alliance manager. So yes, today I will be mainly focusing on not that much about what Delinea does, but more about how we are helping to meet the NIS2 and DORA compliances. I will start with a very short introduction, telling you what Delinea does and who we are. Then we'll move to NIS2, then DORA, and then we'll have some short time for a Q&A. Why we are talking that much these days about identities in the cyberspace? Over 90% of all cyber attacks are using some stolen credentials on one of the stages of the attack, either to initiate the attack or to do lateral movement between the components of our network. So definitely it's, key part of every single attack these days. And on the other hand, of course, cyber attacks cost us money. From one of case studies we have, it is roughly 5% of the annual revenue, either to recover from damage done by the attack, or unfortunately, but this happens these days, to pay the ransom. Shouldn't be like this, but unfortunately, companies are paying ransom these days. Now, who is Delinea? We are one of the leaders of the privileged access management sector. We are super proud of being the only one and third time in the row to be named as a leader by all major analytics companies like Gartner, Forrester, KuppingerCole, Frost Sullivan, and EMA. Back in the days, managing the users' authorization authentication was much easier. We had our privileged users, which were mainly IT staff. Everybody was connected over our own company network. We had our on-premise servers with our own applications inside of our company. Our people were using our own desktops or eventually laptops, but they belonged to us. We knew exactly what's going on those devices. We were having full control over entire path on how data was moving across our network, who see it, what type of information they have. Unfortunately, it is not like this anymore. Besides IT admins, we have our workforce like business users, and they also have access to our information, to our IT systems. We have developers with completely different requirements, and more we see, exponential growth of the identities related to non-human activities like AI or service accounts, and we of course have to somehow manage this. We don't also use anymore just our on-premise servers and our own desktops. We have infrastructure as a service. We use many software as a service components, which are very often very critical to our company. And at the third angle, we are not anymore having just our own people working for us, our employees. We have contractors. We have third-party vendors, and all of them they require some kind of access to our information and to our infrastructure. So when we are talking about this, we see simply that the landscape of the IT has changed, and we have many new questions which we need to be able to address. So, do we know what is the shape of a particular credential? Do we know if maybe it was compromised? And if yes, are we able to automatically rotate those credentials, those passwords? Who is the person who needs access to our system? What type of access he needs? Is he our employee or a contractor maybe? And at the end, risk. So is giving such access to this person is safe for us, or maybe it brings some risk. So these pain points can be addressed by Delinea platform, which is our software as a service offering. However, we also provide standalone on-premise software components. Um, uh, so we help to address needs for all these major groups of the people working for our companies. So IT admins, business users, developers, but also non-human related identities like AI. We provide zero standing privilege functionality, identity and governance administration, continuous discovery and identity inventory management, and we also help to protect all identities across entire organization. Uh, the scope of my today's presentation is not to guide you through all of the details of products we have, as mainly I was asked to talk about NIS2 and DORA today. So it is just very short introduction of Delinea, what we do, what kind of solutions we have. If you maybe find it interesting, please contact either directly with me. You have my email from the first slide, um, or with our distributor Hermitage to go through more of the details about our products. Let's move to the NIS2. As I said, I will not go too much in details. Uh, it will be a bit unprofessional, I know, but I will skip some slides because I just saw that the Alexander on the session before me was talking exactly about the same thing. So I will not waste your time on repeating exactly the same message. On top of Alex said, yes, there are sanctions. So we have a 2% or 1.4% of sanction. It depends of the group company belongs to, either essential or important. What I will add here is that there are also executive liability. So not only company can be fined, but there is also personal responsibility for the executive level, which it's completely new when you compare to NIS. This one slide you saw already from Alex, but as Paulus said, repeating sometimes makes sense. So yes, we have two groups and essentially important. In each group, you have some companies which belong to it. So if you are any of this, then you are under the NIS2 compliance. Now I will move to my main part. So what which requirements of NIS2 Delinea will help you to address. So we will start with paragraph 49 of NIS2. Here we are talking about cyber hygiene, including password management, password changes, and also a limitation of number of accounts with admin level rights, because taking over this kind of accounts is potentially dangerous, right, to our company. Not potentially, it's super dangerous actually. So to address password rotation with the continuous discovery of a new but also orphaned accounts, of course with the monitoring of a level of the rights in our systems, we have solution called Delinea Platform, which is our software as a service, but we also have Secret Server. And Secret Server does exactly the same functionality, but this is on-premise software component which you can install on your environment. And for removing standing admin accounts, elimination of the run as admin procedure, which is again very dangerous because of the hash left on the workstation. We have solution called Privilege Manager, and Privilege Manager again can be either a cloud version or on-premise software. So it is up to you which option you prefer to use. Let's move to the next paragraph, paragraph 51. Here, mainly we are talking about detection and prevention of the cyber attacks. Our main solution is Platform Analytics, which is part of the Delinea platform. This one gives you insight on how how our identities are used to detect any anomalies in behavior of our users, because if potentially our users start making actions which usually he don't, maybe it's like a initiation of the attack with the usage of the stolen account. So before even something really crazy start happens to our network in our environment, then by realizing that this is not the standard behavior of this user, we can, for example, start monitoring this session to more details, or maybe we can initiate some other actions like, for example, blocking this access and rotating the password or calling to a help desk. So this is platform analytics. That's what we do. Next paragraph, paragraph 54. This one focus on ransomware mitigation policies. So um, as I already were talking about on my second slide, so over 90% of attacks use stolen credential on any of the stages of our attacks. So if we remove standing over privileged accounts like usage of root accounts on the Linux and Unix, or admin accounts in Windows space, we will keep will help us to eliminate spread of ransomware, and we can also eliminate lateral movement type of attacks. Here Delinea offer standalone solutions which can be privilege control for servers, or again privilege manager for workstations, but both are also available in the cloud. So again, up to you which option you prefer. Another paragraph, paragraph 85. Here we are mainly talking about managing the supply chain and access to our systems by contractors or third-party vendors. We know that using a VPN for users who are not our own crew, who are using their own devices, which are not under any of our control, is potentially dangerous, because we really don't know what's going on this device, right? We have no monitoring of the security of this device. We don't know what any other application there may be installed, which can be potentially dangerous for us if they will get an access to our network, which means that VPN for external people is potentially risky. And also what NISTU is saying, they say that they strongly recommend to provide external access for the external people without installing anything on their device, which is exactly VPNless. Here we provide solution called PRA, privileged remote access, which is integrated with any other products we have. So PRA uh, helps us to do the isolation between the device which this contractor is using, accessing our network, and our network. So simply everything he needs is just the browser on his laptop, on his access device, and we then do access over HTTPS with the session emulation. And of course, everything is recorded and audited. So not only we monitor the session of this human during his job, but also we have access to the recording, and we can then audit what he really does, and also how long he was really doing his activities in our network. Next slide. Here we are mainly talking about zero trust principles and access management. So again, our solution is Delinea platform or secret server with MFA everywhere. So this allows us to call for MFA on system login to any type of servers. Doesn't matter it is Windows, it is Linux, almost any edition of the Linux, and also most of the Unixes, even very old one. So that's what we allow with the platform itself and the secret server and MFA. So MFA on the system login, but with an extension of PCS, privilege control for servers, we also provide the MFA request on the privilege elevation. So every time your user need to do some privilege action, like, I don't know, starting the application or initiating some script, calling for some command which is potentially dangerous, then system can call for another MFA, which can be, by the way, different MFA than this one which you use during the login to the system to double check whether really this person is whom he supposed to be. I'm sorry. PCS also helps us to elevate our privileges to do the certain action on the server, and only when it's needed and only for as long as it's needed, and of course, with the recording and auditing. Next paragraph, paragraph 102. Here we are talking about ability to audit and also ability to inform about incident on time. So we have 24 hours to provide initial information about incident, and then we have 72 hours to provide details of what systems have been compromised and potential vectors of the attack. So this is one of the paragraphs which, if not met, brings fines. So inability to provide those information can be also the reason to got fined by the governments. So again, here using platform analytics, it gives us audit of data from all of the systems we manage access to. This provides us insight about anomalies in the usage of the credentials, and then we can send the alert either to security team or to the other systems we are using, just to block this attack which is just starting. But also what we provide, which is important for this paragraph, we also provide data to process then with a post-attack forensics. If something really happens, we can also have a monitoring of what happened, and then we can provide those forensics data to other departments and other teams. Right. So it was quickly NIS 2. As you saw, I was mainly focusing on this paragraphs where Delinea helps you to address the needs of the NIS 2. Now, let's move to the DORA. Again, I will not be talking that much about DORA itself because you already know this. I will mainly focus on where Delinea can help. So DORA mainly is related to the financial sector. However, as a financial sector, it is not just banks and huge insurance companies. It's everything what's surrounding the money space, even including service providers. So if maybe your company is delivering some technology to financial sector, then you are also under the DORA requirements. Now, so let's check where Delinea can help in terms of a DORA. We start with article number 5. This one talks about internal governance and control framework. This includes operational resilience strategies with response and recovery plans, and auditing both internal and external users with the policies for third parties, and of course with the preference for the VPN-less. So of course, what we provide is vaulting and rotating of the passwords, session auditing and monitoring, and also constant discovery of accounts, including also those orphaned. I already mentioned about this. This is very often the big problem for us. We are good in creating new accounts, and somehow we know how we are creating them, especially if they are human related, because with the non-human related, it's a completely different story. But for human related, we are okay. But very often when person leave company, we have no clue really what's going on with those accounts, and very often they just stay open. So That's what we do. We provide a complete overview of all systems under any directory services we use, or standalone also, both Windows or Linux, Unix, as on-prem as well as in the cloud. And also, we allow to monitor sessions from endpoint servers. So not only we see session itself, but also everything what's happened during this session on the server. So it gives us even more better and more granular auditing policies. Article number 6, here it covers monitoring and controlling of the activities in ICT systems. So with Delinea, you can specify who have access where to which systems, with what level of privileges, when, and for how long. Of course, we provide VPN-less access with the session recording monitoring. Um, we help eliminate use of admins on the desktops, eliminate usage of a run as admin procedure, and we can call MFA, as I already mentioned, not only on the session login, but also with the privilege elevation. And additionally, PCS also allow us to enforce zero trust policy by controlling the privilege elevation, as already mentioned, only when it's needed and only for as long as it's needed and only for particular job which needs to be done. So we are eliminating those standing over privilege accounts. And paragraph number 8, article number 8, this one talks about cyber threat analysis, mapping of our assets, and also cooperation with the service providers. So very popular tool these days, which makes a lot of sense, of course, to use it, are vulnerability scanners. However, scanner, if you have hard-coded admin password inside, it's also potentially risky for us, right? Because if somebody will have an access to the scanner, can take this password out of it, and we all know it can happen. So what you need to do actually with the scanner is you should integrate it with vault solutions like ours, and then scanner before start doing the job takes automatically a new password from the vault. After job is done, then our system rotate the password to the new one. So even if somebody will steal the password from the scanner somehow, it is useless because each time it it is new password for the system, and each time scanner need to call and sync with our vault to take this password from the vault. And of course, such a session is also recorded and audited by us, so we have full control over what's going on there. And for the service providers, which are also under this article, we provide access without VPNs, which you already mentioned, using the PRA technology. So this way we block to spread, viruses and other malware, which could be initiated from the device of the third-party vendor, which are not under our control. Um, And I think this last one, article number 10. Here we are talking about proactive protection and prevention. So platform analytics helps us to detect behavior of the users which are not standard according to the role. So in case of any dangerous action, we can automatically rotate password. We can call another action like sending information to a security team, or maybe do some automatic action like a login account, like as I mentioned, the rotating the password, or we can also automatically send the information to any other systems we are using for the security and monitoring. We also use machine learning, or AI, if you like, which is very popular word these days. So we use this AI to build the user activities profile. So we exactly learn how the users are behaving and how it's mapped their role. And then if any anomaly will happen, then we can initiate this action. So actually we can stop the attack before the main part of attack will start. So of course it makes the system much safer. All right. So this was my main part of the presentation. However, if you have not enough, if you maybe are hungry for more of the regulations, there is one more quite fresh, again for the financial sector, PCI DSS 4.0. And this one also talks a lot about identities and access management. So if you're interested in information regarding PCI DSS, please contact me directly or through Hermitage guys so they can help you get access to. And of course, if you will visit delinea.com, you will find dedicated white papers for DORA, PCI DSS, as well as NIS2. So that was actually my last slide. So now, as I understand, we have a time for a short Q&A.
Yes, Radek, thank you very much. Yeah, so yeah, as you said, you kind of some things were repeated, but again, I must say that you look from different perspective because there is no one tool can solve all the problems.
True.
So we need to look from the different angles. Yeah, and in terms of questions, so yeah, one of the questions is how fast can you onboard critical privilege accounts and measure reduced exposure? I mean, this overall process.
Oh yeah, this is a huge question. Which this is actually a question, a very good one, but this is a huge question which we can spend next 3 hours discussing on which level we want to do this. Because
Mhm,
as we provide IGA, which is Identity Governance and Administration, so we actually manage entire life cycle of the human from the moment that he joined the company till the moment when he leaves the company with all of the association to the systems based on his role. So this is actually automatic. Then if you are talking about maybe some changes we want to introduce
mhm,
into, I don't know, giving um, some local admin access to another server. If you have this role already in the system in our secret server Delinea platform, it is just 5 or 4 clicks and it's done. So it is super fast, super easy. I mean, what the beauty of Delinea is that actually our systems are made to make it, I don't want to say simple. It's not the maybe
mhm,
proper word because there is lots of advanced actions behind the scenes, but make it simple to the users, to make it fast and easy to manage the systems, not to spend hours and having the doctor diploma on being able to manage the Delinea. So
mhm, mhm.
it can
Okay.
be super fast, but as I said, depends how much of the scale of a process we want to talk about.
Yes, of course. And then also the complex of customers infrastructure, I mean, all those type of things.
Indeed,
Mhm.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, maybe this one is simpler one. So can Delinea support cloud and hybrid environments?
Yes.
Okay, it does. Okay.
Not only we support cloud and hybrid, but we also can have our implementation either cloud or hybrid. So
Okay,
yeah,
understood. And this one actually coming from me because I noticed, so I don't know if you will be able to comment. So I saw there was a recent technology acquisition, Strong DM.
strong DM. Yeah,
Can you give a sneak peek? Was it 4 or
yeah,
the
yeah.
6?
So strong DM is one of the startups which is focusing mainly on uh, super fast and quick providing access to the credentials in the environments which are changing very fast and very often. So for us, it is mainly the extension of our offering for the developers type of
Okay,
users. So
understood.
everywhere where you need to have like a robotic approach to the programming, to changing something in the systems, everywhere where you need to uh, quickly and massively provide credentials for hundreds of the new instances of something, let me call it that way, and then remove it back. So that's exactly what what this company will help us to extend our solution. Because these days we all know about all of this attacks, which
Mm-hmm.
actually are using some hard-coded password somewhere on the GitHub or GitLab, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So actually, us developers, we are making our own troubles actually for the
Mm-hmm.
future. So with using technology like strong DM or our DevOps secret vault, probably those two products will be somehow integrated. Then you eliminate simply those standing privileges located somewhere in the scripts. This is like
Okay.
a big sin, shouldn't be done that way and never.
Understood. Okay, thank you, Radek, for the answers. Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you
We're
very
right
much. I
on
think
time.
we are exactly on time.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. So as I mentioned,
Thank
if
you.
you need information more, please contact me directly or Hermitage guys. Thank you very much. Have a great day.